Okay, this hand is fine. We have Night's Whispers to find our threats. Mishra's Bauble, we can do a trick with the Bloodstained Mire, again, to try and find a threat. So we'll keep this. And we'll start with Arid Mesa, Mishra's Bauble. We'll target ourselves. So there is a question on whether we should be doing that on our turn or whether we should do it on our opponent's turn. Because we don't know what they're playing, they could be playing a Thoughtseize deck. And if they're playing a Thoughtseize deck, we should Mishra's Bauble ourselves on their turn. The problem with that is that we're not going to have access to Lightning Bolt if we do it that way. So I think it's more important to have access to Lightning Bolt and the Bauble trick, rather than playing around Thoughtseize with an unknown opponent. Right, Bauble ourselves. Thoughtseize on top. I don't mind Thoughtseize. It's not a threat, but I don't mind it. It looks like our opponent mulliganed as well. Yeah, we're going to keep the Thoughtseize. So we'll go to opponent's turn, draw Thoughtseize. Okay, Flooded Strand and a pass. Okay. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and just leave the fetch land on the board. We generally fetch shock regardless, so we don't need to tell them anything about ourselves either. Okay, Scourge of the Skyclaves. That makes me want to Thoughtseize, hold up Lightning Bolt, potentially Lightning Bolting our opponent. But I definitely want to Thoughtseize this turn. Night's Whisper is also an option. Okay, our opponent has lost connection, so we're going to have to practice patience for a moment here. Looks like they've already come back. They could be having problems with Moto as well. I'm hoping that Wizards will be putting out an update soon. They've been getting a lot of bugs in the latest update. Alright, let's take a look at what the opponent is holding here. What kind of deck are you playing, opponent? Okay, so a few people on the Discord have been having that discussion. And what it comes down to is, are you playing Blood Moon? That's the number one thing that you should be thinking about. If you are playing Blood Moon, you do not play Sign in Blood. Otherwise, it's fairly easy to cast a Sign in Blood at black, and it gives you the option of reach. So because we're playing Blood Moon, we're taking the Night's Whisper instead. Alright, so Archmage Charm, quite good against our deck. Lightning Bolt, not going to be doing too much. Abrade, we can play around it, but they could Abrade Lightning Bolt to Scourge. So we could take Archmage Charm here, or we could take the Opt to make it so they don't really have anything to do. I like taking the Archmage Charm. It's just the more impactful card. And we'll set them up for a Lightning Bolt to drop their life total. They're probably going to fetch Shock here for the Opt. And with the Opt on the stack, I think we'll bolt them. Get our Scourge nice and fat. They could get Basic Island here. Okay. I think in that case, we'll just hold on to our Lightning Bolt for a mo. We probably will still cast it at their face end of turn, though. There's the Scalding Tarn we knew about. And we get an Arid Mesa. Okay. So, we have a few choices here. We could play into their potential counterspell. They have 2 unknown cards. So they could have drawn a Remand or something like it to counter our Scourge. If we play a Scourge this turn, they can Abrade Lightning Bolt it on their turn, if they draw a red land, to get it off the board. We could go get Lurrus, put it in our hand, or we could play Night's Whisper. One of the problems with Night's Whisper right now is they do have access to Lightning Bolt and Mystic Sanctuary, so they could just start bolting us if we go too far on losing life. If we play Scourge, we can hold up Lightning Bolt, so that if they try and Lightning Bolt Abrade our Scourge, we can Lightning Bolt them and save it. Alright, let's play into their counter magic. Okay, no counter. Okay, they get a Triome there. That's their second island. Probably they'll hold on to Mystic Sanctuary if they get any other land. Okay, Steam Vents, untapped. So they have something going. They could be... I mean, they're not going to be able to Lightning Bolt Abrade anyways because they put the Steam Vents in untapped. So our Scourge is doing pretty nice. Go ahead and untap here. Play our Silent Clearing and attack for 7. Okay, no blocks. So, if we fetch and Lightning Bolt them, they could just be dead here. So the question is, do we play Lightning Bolt and try and kill them? I mean, I don't really see any downside to it, right? We have our Night's Whispers to reload. They need to have some way to take Scourge off the board here. And the 3 cards we know about in their hand aren't going to do it. They can't Cryptic Command. Okay, how about this? Nice. Okay, we made the risky play there and we got rewarded. Make no mistake, that was a very risky play. They could have had something there to take our Scourge off the board. We would have been in big trouble. Alright, so we're playing against a control deck. They use lots of colored lands. Let's bring in Blood Moon. We're bringing in Blood Moon, so we're taking out Seal of Fire. We cannot play Lurrus this way. So I think they were Jeskai control, right? Because they were playing like Lightning Bolt and stuff. I don't think that they're an Uro pile, so we're not going to bring in Rain of Gore. We could bring in Kolaghan's Command just for the value. Make them discard a card, we draw a card. Also, the graveyard cards are going to be very strong. Is it worth it to board in the Lurrus then? Sometimes, absolutely. Depending on how many Lurrus cards I have left in the deck, I can bring it in. Add Lurrus to the deck, yep. A lot of the time that's going to be the right thing to do. Let's take a peek at what cards we want to take out first. So we're going to want to take out Fatal Push. We want to leave in the Bomat Courier, the Swiftspear. Lightning Bolt is going to be how we deal damage to the opponent. We can take out Dismember and bring in Lurrus. Do we need to be worrying about whatever creatures they're bringing in. I kind of feel like the deck mostly wins off of planeswalkers, doesn't it? We're going to keep the baubles because we have the Lurrus in the deck. I don't think I want to make any more changes until I know more about what the opponent is playing. So we're going to submit like this for game 2. And we get right into the game. Don't have to reset magic. Awesome. So if opponent is savvy, they should know right away that something is up. We haven't revealed Lurrus, so something has changed. Ooh, yeah, Monastery Mentor would be very good from the opponent. Okay, so we definitely keep this. This hand is great. Bomat Courier is going to be fantastic in this match. Night's Whisper, even though we didn't cast it last game, still an excellent card. $2.8 to 4.2. Not too sure what those numbers mean, handsome. Oh, I get ya. I get ya. All right. Well, you're well on your way. More than halfway there. But you know, you could spend some of those manas on emotes. I put the emote price very, very low. So very easy to buy our emotes here. We're going to be playing the Bomat Courier. So we can just go ahead and Mishra's Bauble right away without using it for a land if we want. There might be value in holding it just for a little while. We have the Scourge of the Skyclaves ready to go turn 2. So we might hold the Mishra's Bauble on the board just for a minute until we can get a Bauble trick going. Or we might want to just draw the card for value. It might also be good to know what is under the Bomat Courier. That is an option we have as well. So we're going to start with a fetch. We have another Bloodstained Mire here to go get basic swamp if we need it. But we're going to start out with Blood Crypt. Okay, so we've come to our second main, and this is where we have to make our decision about Mishra's Bauble. Do we cast it? We could draw Monastery Swiftspear next turn. And do we crack it immediately? I'll probably be playing Scourge of the Skyclaves next turn. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to ever really use this Mishra's Bauble as anything but to see what the opponent is about to draw. Can't unlock. You mean you can't unlock the emotes? Oh, okay. I thought you could unlock up. I figured it would give you the choice of any of the 3 in order to unlock one. Yeah, there's the Monkey Paws tier 2. I figured you would have just been able to get it. Okay, so we didn't crack the Bauble in response to their fetch, so we're not going to get good data on whatever's going on their side. We're just going to hold it for now. We'll play Blood Crypt and play Scourge here after we attack with Bomat Courier. One thing I have to be worried about is actually their lightning bolts killing our Scourge. We don't want to present Scourge as a 3/3. However, they're going to 17 here, and they're going to have to fetch, but they would be able to Lightning Bolt with a Triome. So yeah, we're going to play around Lightning Bolt. The Helix wouldn't work, but the Lightning Bolt would kill our Scourge. So we're just going to, I think, Night's Whisper here. We'll play Blood Crypt, Night's Whisper. then the Bloodstained Mire can go get Swamp. Now, our Night's Whisper is working a little bit in counter with the Bomat Courier here. One of the things that the Bomat Courier does is it becomes more valuable with the fewer cards you have left in hand. But that's not too bad at all, hey. Let's go ahead and play the Mishra's Bauble. And then we'll wait until the opponent cracks their fetch land, and then we'll use the Bauble to see what is on top of their deck. Okay, they have a Lightning Bolt. So good thing we played around it. All we lose is this little 1/1 with a couple cards underneath. So that's totally fine. Oh, we skipped past their upkeep there. They decided not to use their fetch land. So we'll go ahead and start using our baubles just to draw the cards. Okay, they have a 5-mana Planeswalker here. So the question is, do we want to crack this other Bauble and get the other card? We already have a lot of action here. Let's leave the Bauble, and we'll use it for information. Oh, a Spellbomb. Don't mind if I do. So we're going to start with Inquisition, and then we'll decide what to do. Probably play Bomat Courier Spellbomb with a Swamp from the Mire. If they do have a very burn-heavy hand here, nope. Oh, a Celestial Purge. Don't mind taking that. Entrancing Melody. That's a problem. They would be able to steal our Scourge with that. So we're probably taking the Melody. Although they have no lands, so we might be better off taking the Opt or Remand. Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm thinking about here. Is they need to get to 4 lands to play the Entrancing Melody. Celestial Purge is ready to go. If I take the Opt, they're much further away from lands. The Purge nukes all my dudes. Yeah, Purge is very good. The thing is, Purge only takes my dude off the table. Entrancing Melody takes it forever, and I took the Fatal Pushes out of the deck. So I cannot kill one of the creatures they take from me. Yeah, but Charm doesn't take the Scourge of the Skyclaves. We know they don't have a land on top of their deck right now. Yeah, Melody is a huge problem. I mean, their hand is very good, but you would expect it to be when they're missing on lands. We're going to take the Entrancing Melody here because them getting dashed out is a little bit less scary. I'm taking the Melody because I don't believe I could beat that card if they got to it. We're going to play the Bomat Courier next, and then the Spellbomb. If they want to remand the Courier, that's fine. And if they try and take the Courier with an Archmage Charm, then we'll just laugh a little bit. They'd be better off drawing cards. Okay, Courier resolves. Put a card under it. Can't purge a Courier. Yep, some more hand disruption is going to be important. Oh, the swamp must have gone under a Bomat Courier. We're out of swamps. Okay. We can go get Mountain then. Let's see if they remand the Spellbomb. I think they leave the Spellbomb to resolve and cast the Opt. Well, it could have been under the other Bomat Courier, right? We have 2 exiled cards right here as well. So this might be a swamp, or it could be one of these 2 cards. Okay, so they went Opt, put a card on the bottom, so that gets rid of the Ral, and they drew the land. Okay, so they have access to Archmage Charm now. So they could counter our Scourge. Nope. Still have not engaged the flavor text on the Scourge of the Skyclaves. We've been having our Mishra's Bauble waiting here, trying to get some information about what the opponent's going to draw, but we haven't been doing a very good job of that. Yep, Blood Moon is not going to be great. I mean, they already have the Celestial Purge as a way to answer it as well. So we could play a Scourge into their hand, but they have Remand ready to go. We could also like hold up double Bolt and try and get them that way. So if they start cracking fetch lands, we can bolt them, get them dead. They're probably going to be ending up getting Basic Island and Hollowed Fountain would be my guess, which will deal them 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Put them to 11. Then they'll take 6, go to 5. Definitely have to remember to use that Mishra's Bauble on the opponent's turn here. Okay, so that's 1 fetch. They no longer have access to Archmage Charm, but we're going to let that happen and see what they do. Okay, they fetch again. So they could remand our Lightning Bolt. We want to Bauble after we sack Courier. That would be better, you're right. That would be way better. That's a good reason to leave the Mishra's Bauble where it is. Okay, they got another basic island. So they're ready for Archmage Charm here. Draw 2 cards. If they want to take our Bomat Courier, we will sacrifice it. Okay, so they are taking our Courier here. We're going to have to discard our Scourges, but they lose the Courier. We get to draw 2 cards. And yeah, they don't get any value out of that Archmage Charm. We already know they have Celestial Purge to answer those Scourges, so they're not super valuable to us right now. And now we can sack the Bauble to see what they're about to draw. Okay, we get Death Shadow and Bomat Courier. And they're about to draw another land. Okay, we get Soul Guide Lantern. Good card versus their deck. And we have the Spellbomb to go with it, so we don't need to worry about them returning any cards on top of their library with the Mystic Sanctuary. We're just going to get them with a Spellbomb here. It means that we won't draw a card, but that's fine. More important to get that Archmage Charm out of the way. They get nothing from the Sanctuary. And we know most of the cards in their hand. I believe they played the Scalding Tarn that turn. Okay, Swiftspear, that's nice. So we can play Swiftspear, Courier, Soulguide Lantern. We might want to hold the Soulguide Lantern until there is a card to kill with it, like Remand. They're probably going to go ahead and purge the Swiftspear. So maybe we play the Bomat Courier now. But getting the Soulguide Lantern out means that they're not going to be able to Mystic Sanctuary. We have not seen Helix yet. We are going to assume that they do have it, but we have not seen it. Okay, we're expecting a purge here. No, and Abrade instead. Okay, so they get to keep the purge for the Death Shadow. Ah, if only that would work. Sculling Tarn, okay. They will not get the Abrade back, though. We have the Soulguide Lantern to stop that. Not that the Abrade is all that important. Unlike the Celestial Purge. Okay, we get another Swiftspear. Let's play Swiftspear Bomat Courier here. See if we can get rid of that purge before we play our Death Shadow. Soulguide Lantern can also draw us a card. But I think that if the opponent does nothing here or anything, we're probably just going to put Death Shadow into play second main. Empty our hands so our Bomat Courier is ready to go. Oh, they're lightning bolting the Courier. Okay. What about that purge? What about that purge? No purge. All right. Yep, one card left and we know what it is. We're not going to let them purge our Death Shadow here, even though our Shadow is only a 1/1. Mystic Sanctuary again. Targeting what? Lightning Bolt or Abrade? Targeting the Abrade. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use this. Exile each opponent's graveyard so they can't remove the Soulguide Lantern themselves. Get rid of the value of that fetch land there. They seem to be very heavily focused on blue here. But that might just be happenstance of the game. Oh, Kolaghan's command is quite good. We can ask them to discard a card, and we can bring a Scourge back to our hand here. I think that... Oh, we're actually very close to lethal as well. So they would need a counterspell, or they would have to purge the Swiftspear. Either way, this definitely starts with an attack. So let's see if they do anything during our combat step. If you're curious, gain control of target permanent. Okay, so they have the Archmage Charm. So we Kolaghan's command, tell them to discard a card, and we could wait until the Swiftspear is on their side of the battlefield so we could kill it, or we go get Scourge back. I think we go get Scourge back, and we tell them to discard Celestial Purge. Return target creature and target player discards a card. We go get Scourge of the Skyclaves and tell them to discard. So they get to keep our Swiftspear. We get the much better Scourge of the Skyclaves. And they lose their Purge. Wonderful. Okay. They do have a Swiftspear, though. That's not bad. If they have access to Opt, they could run a string of spells. Okay, we get a Mishra's Bauble, so we can see what they're about to draw. But I think that our play is pretty obvious here. We just play our 2 creatures. Bauble first. You and me, we agree. We're going to Bauble, target them, see what's on top of the deck. Just get a little bit of information. More information is better. You're right. When you're right, you're right. Jew, you're always right. You know, someone told me something that I didn't know about Joe Rogan the other day. Oh, Snapcaster Mage on the top. What an amazing card for the opponent to draw here. They're going to be able to purge our Scourge that way. That is pretty game-breaking, actually. Best card they could possibly be drawing here, and I don't know that we can even play around it. If we play the Death Shadow, they might Archmage Charm to take it away. But I don't think we can play the Scourge into it, can we? They're just going to purge it. But if they purge the Scourge, then they can't do anything to the Death Shadow. This is really awkward. Yep. Opponent just got an amazing top deck here. Okay, we're going to be drawing a card off Bauble, and we get our card for turn. But it's going to be really tough for us to come back from Snapcaster Mage Celestial Purge. We did a lot of work to put ourselves in this situation, but it just wasn't enough. No attacks here, I'll bet. And we got another Death Shadow. Okay. So we attack with Scourge and Shadow. Shadow becomes a 4/4. They could double block Swiftspear and Snapcaster Mage on the Shadow to kill it and purge the Scourge. Then we still have Death Shadow as a leftover. We should not have played the Shadow, because they could Archmage Charm the Shadow, and then they have an 9/9. But I think that our Scourge of the Skyclaves outgrows Death Shadow. But no, because, yeah. Yeah, their Shadow is a 9/9, but if they steal our Shadow, our Scourge is bigger. I think they still have to kill the Scourge here. Swing in with only Scourge. If we swing in with only Scourge, they block with Swiftspear, steal Death Shadow, and then we no longer have the Scourge back to block. I think we have to swing with Death Shadow as well, so they can't steal it and block with it. So many lines. Now we get to find out what the opponent thinks. Here's the Snapcaster we knew about. Now what? Do you target Archmage Charm, or do you target Celestial Purge? Okay, they take the Charm, so they're going to steal our Death Shadow. Death Shadow doesn't block. They have to trade one of their creatures for our Scourge this way. Oh, they could be holding it up as a counterspell as well. Very aggressive. So we're going to play the Death Shadow. They're either going to counter the Death Shadow or they're going to steal it. If they steal our untapped Death Shadow, then we have nothing to block with and we die. And if they steal our tapped Death Shadow, we have nothing to block with and we die. Yep, we are dead. Played ourselves into a corner here and we're dead. Okay, this is a long game. I think we're fine with how we boarded, though. Still no Helix. Yep. There is a question if we want to bring in Fatal Push to, like, kill our own creatures. Because it looks like they're going to want to be doing that as part of their plan. Okay, we got Blood Moon. We have 2 lands. We have Soulguide Lantern, Monastery Swiftspear. This hand is fine. We'll keep. We're going to start with Blood Crypt, and we're going to hope to get Swamp with Bloodstained Mire so we can play that Blood Moon. We want to get Blood Moon out nice and early. Opponent does play a lot of basic islands, so if we give them enough time, they're going to be able to squeeze their way through that Blood Moon, and it will end up being a dead card. But in the meantime, let's get aggressive. Oh, thank you for calling that out. We have 5 minutes left on our clock. Let's go fast. All right, so we're going to play the Blood Crypt here. Swiftspear. Okay, we're going to play the Soulguide Lantern for no value except for the Prowess triggers. And opponent's going to Lightning Bolt 1 creature, it looks like. Okay, that gives us a target for the Soulguide Lantern. And attack. Okay, we go ahead and hit 6 here. And we find another Blood Moon. Okay, so we're going to do the Blood Moon thing. Go get basic Swamp. Play Blood Moon pre-combat. Get that Prowess trigger going. They could have another Lightning Bolt here. But we have Kolaghan's command to return a Swiftspear to our hand, so we can get the clock going again. Nice. Okay, they have no blue mana. Okay, so what do we do here? Do we just play another Blood Moon, or do we bolt them? Scourge, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's bolt them and play Scourge. That's lethal on board. I'm not very happy with this hand. We're going to throw it back. We have too many lands. I was just having a chat with our opponent. We both play Pauper. Okay, so we have lands and spells. We're going to keep this. Agadeem's Awakening is going to help us power up the Death Shadow. We have the Courier and the Swiftspear to go fast already. So maybe we don't need the Awakening. We can try and find our way to Death Shadow after, but really focus on Scourge. Okay, Teleria West, so they're probably on Amulet Titan. I think we start with Bomat Courier here. Start putting some cards underneath it. Okay, so we get another land here. Lonely Sandbar. That's a cycling land. Okay, so my spider sense is tingling here, chat. I think that they're doing something strange. Our choices are either to play Swiftspear or play Scourge. I think that we play Scourge here. I'm not scared of Lightning Bolt from the opponent. So we're going to play... Oh, hi there, Panda Anaconda. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Panda Anaconda is another streamer on Twitch for Magic. Check out their content sometime. Alright, so we're going to attack with Bomat Courier, then we'll play Scourge. I think we'll play the Arid Mesa here. Go get another Blood Crypt. Scourge is just a 2/2 for now, but it's going to grow very quickly. Peer Through Depths. Okay, so they're doing something. Some sort of combo deck here. I have no idea what the opponent is playing. It is definitely some sort of rogue strategy. I've seen Peer Through Depths in Storm before. Past in Flames. Okay, so they are doing a Storm thing. Ah, now we know what they're doing. They're doing Lotus Field. All right. Saro MTG know what's going on before me. Yep, Twiddle Storm. All right, thanks everybody. I was very, very confused. So, are we dead? Do we just die now? Alright, so we can play Swiftspear and we can play Shadow. So we might as well just do all the things, put up maximum aggression, and just see if we can get one more turn out of the opponent. We could potentially Mishra's Bauble trick ourselves. I don't think we really need to know what's on top of the opponent's library here. But we have to fetch in order to play the Death Shadow. So there's no reason to hold on to this fetch here. So at that point, we might as well Mishra's Bauble the opponent, find out what they're going to draw. Okay, they're drawing Pact of Negation, so they'll have counter magic up. Okay, something we can do here, we can sacrifice the Bomat Courier and see if we can find a Thoughtseize, but that means we won't be able to play the Death Shadow. We currently have 7, 8 damage coming through, which is not lethal. If we play the Death Shadow, we have 8, 9, 10, 11, which is much closer to lethal, and the Blood Crypt will get us there. So we're going to pray that they fizzle instead of hoping that one of the top 3 cards here is Thoughtseize, and that we would be able to take them off combo. Okay, they do use their Yard. I'm going to be, yeah, we saw the Past in Flames, so we thought they might. They're starting with Ideas Unbound, so they're going to be going for it here. We should probably just hit a skip here. We do have access to Bomat Courier, but we wouldn't have the mana to do anything with it, so we're just going to go ahead and skip. Oh, we won. They missed. Lucky us. Okay, so they were playing a lot of blue lands, but none of them were islands. Fizzle Storm fizzled. There's a reason why I don't really recognize that deck. People don't really play it. Okay, so what's going to be good here? Handsome, you were saying that Graveyard Hate and Blood Moon. And you think the Kolaghan's Command as well? So is the Kolaghan's Command mostly looking for value, or are we going to be able to destroy an artifact with it? I think we can take out quite a bit of our removal spells here. I don't think the opponent's going to be playing too many creatures. So we can take out our Fatal Pushes. I'll leave our Lightning Bolts in so that we can hit the opponent and make our Scourges into threats. I could take out Agadeem's Awakening here. I think I'm fine with this. They fizzle if they run out of cantrips. Do you think that they might be playing Leyline? I mean, not that we can do anything if they are playing Leyline. We don't have an answer to it. All right, we're going to submit. Fingers crossed. Nope, we got the glitch. Okay. Seal of Fire off the top. That's not what we're in for right now. We're going to play the Marsh Flats, Monastery Swiftspear. Mishra's Bauble is actually interesting with the Inquisition of Kozilek. So we're going to be able to play them now to get the triggers for the Swiftspear. And then we can use them later to get more information for the Inquisition. We're going to see what the opponent is drawing next turn, so we don't need to use this Bauble right now. And we already have plays between Soul Guide Lantern and Inquisition of Kozilek that we don't need to draw the cards just now. So we're going to leave these baubles for a turn. We'll use them next turn. Okay, we get Blood Moon. So we're going to want to get basic Swamp with the Mire, which casts the Inquisition of Kozilek. Okay, what do they got? They have Aria of Flame, which is a big problem. They have Ideas Unbound, Puppetry, and Madcap Experiment. So Madcap Experiment is a great reason to be bringing in Kolaghan's Command. Unfortunately, we do not have an answer for that. We're going to need to draw land off the top so that we can Blood Moon here. I think that we probably have to take the Aria of Flames. Or do we take the Puppetry? If we take the Puppetry, they have no way to untap the field. We're not running any life gain stuff right now, so Aria of Flame, if we get the Blood Moon out, could be very strong for us. Still a difficult choice here on what we're supposed to take. So because of the deck we're running, my first impulse is to take the Aria of Flames. But if we take the Psychic Puppetry instead, they're not going to be able to untap the Lotus field right away. And then if we can get the Blood Moon down, we can stop the Madcap Experiments before they do anything. Well, they could still, yeah, they wouldn't want Ideas Unbound on a turn that wasn't a combo turn. So we're going to take the Puppetry and hope and pray that we get land off the top. So we're going to use the Mishra's Baubles. Oh, we should have used the Mishra's Bauble here to see what was on top of their deck. So that was a slight punt. Okay, get rid of the Puppetry. Okay, and we're going to find out what's on top of their deck here. Peer through depths. Okay, so that's the thing they're going to be able to do. And we definitely want to use the Mishra's Bauble again during their turn. Okay, they get the Peer. And they found Reach Through Mists. Play Lotus Field. And then we Bauble them. See that they have a sandbar on top. And hope that one of our cards that we draw is a land. We miss. But we do get Thoughtseize. Okay. So we're still in it. We can Thoughtseize their Madcap Experiment. Okay, so then we can play Seal of Fire or Spellbomb. We already have Lantern here, so maybe we play Seal of Fire to get an bit of extra damage, possibly. Or we keep the Spellbomb going so that we can potentially draw an extra card. All right, so we missed the land. Okay, we gain a bunch of life now. And every time the opponent plays a spell, they're going to do us damage. Okay, we missed the land again. Let's find a land, please. Oh my god, we miss a land again. I'm trying, handsome. I'm trying. Okay, this is their turn to go off. They have Aria of Flame dealing us damage. Drawing a bunch of cards, looking for a twiddle. We can't quite just skip, though, because we have the Soul Guide Lantern ready to go. So if they try and use their graveyard at all, we can respond. Okay, they have the twiddle. And we're dead in a couple more spells here. So you can see how fast the Aria of Flames wins a game. I was terrified of the Madcap experiment because we didn't have an answer. But the Aria of Flames just won the game because we weren't able to get that Blood Moon out early enough. So we could bring in the Kozilek's Return. I don't know if I actually want to bring in Abrade. Rain of Gore versus Aria. The thing is, if Aria of Flames does us 10 damage, that's probably just going to straight up win the game anyway. Ah, fair enough. Kappa. Okay, we're going to bring in an Abrade over the Seal of Fire, so we have an answer to the Platinum Empyrean. Okay, interesting hand. Not a huge fan of the Battle Rage, but I do like that it applies pressure and it has a Thoughtseize. We're going to keep. This time we'll try and remember to use the Mishra's Bauble to get more information pre-Thoughtseize. Okay, opponent is mulliganing just once. Okay, so they're using their cantrip there. Wonder if Aria is good against Shadow for any deck. For almost any deck, yes. Aria is an incredible card against Shadow. Okay, so we got the Bomat Courier here. I'm thinking I would like to Thoughtseize Courier. So we'll take a peek at what's on top of their deck. Talaria West. And we'll hit them with a Thoughtseize. Okay, so they have the Twiddle, Ideas Unbound, and the Madcap. We don't have an answer to the Madcap, so we're going to get rid of that. Or do we try and play through it? I think I get rid of the Madcap because that just kills me if it goes off. We don't have an answer. I am playing very scared of that card. Blood Crypt. So that means we can Lightning Bolt and Battle Rage. Oh, Blood Moon. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have access to black mana, but maybe we don't need it. We don't have any black cards in hand. And this will make it so their spell is useless. Their land. So let's Blood Moon. Okay. So that does mean they're going to be able to put their land down without sacrificing. And if they manage to take the Blood Moon off of the board, that will be an advantage for them. This is the do I have a way out pause. Opponent is... Okay, so we're just talking about it now, saying that they normally keep in an Echoing Truth, but got sidetracked by the Madcap plan. So because we took Madcap Experiment out of their hand, we are in a very strong position right now. So it looks like we might have it. Okay, we got the Scourge there, a card we cannot cast. We could Lightning Bolt Battle Rage. So that would be 3, 6, 9, 10, put them to 2. Yeah, if they get another Madcap Experiment, we're in a lot of trouble. We're going to put them to 2 here. Okay, we have Lethal on board. They might have... Yeah, they drew another Madcap. Okay, so now we need Abrade. So the Bomat Courier can draw some cards. Soul Guide Lantern can draw some cards. We do have outs. I'm wondering if I cash in the Bomat Courier now. Probably just cash it in now, right? Draw 4 cards. I'm not going to be able to get any more. Unless, I mean, they don't block. If they don't block, that's fine. Okay, cash it in. Okay, we find Lightning Bolt, which does nothing. Bunch of black spells, do nothing. Cast Mishra's Bauble here. I guess we bauble them. Past in Flames. Another black card we cannot cast. We got close. Okay, so they are attacking with the Empyrean here. If we block and Lightning Bolt, that's a total of 5. So I think we just take the damage. Past in Flames, and then they can Sleight of Hand. It's a lot of mana not to do very much. Oh, we missed. Damn it. We were at the end step there and I hit the button. I was supposed to draw a card with the Lantern here. Okay, we get a Bomat Courier. So that can attack, get a card under it, and then we can block the Empyrean with the Swiftspear. And we can draw 2 cards with the Bomat Courier. Try and find that Abrade. Okay, Aria of Flame. That gives us a bunch of life, but it means that they're going to be able to kill us very quickly. Okay, we miss again. Oh, they're going to twiddle. And that taps my Courier, so I cannot draw an extra card with it. Taps my Courier, rather. So I'm dead on board. I have to sacrifice the Courier to hope that one card is an Abrade, and it isn't. Good game. So this hand here is one land. We're going to mull. We have another one land hand here, but we have two Mishra's Baubles, so we're going to keep this one. We have to get rid of either Fatal Push, Bomat Courier, or Lightning Bolt. I'm thinking Lightning Bolt here. I like having the Bomat Courier as another way to attack and apply pressure and draw cards. We already have a removal spell and Fatal Push. Well, that's one of the things about this game. We can see in hindsight that maybe that time, that play wasn't the right one. But it's difficult to say with any kind of certainty what play is the right one in any circumstance. Okay. Right, here we are again. Arbor Elf. That can mean a few things. Okay, we get another Fatal Push off the top. So we have the choice of pushing the Arbor Elf or playing the Swiftspear. If they're playing Arbor Elf, they probably have that enchantment, the aura that will untap their land, making it like they will have access to 4 mana, is what I'm trying to say, next turn. So I want to Fatal Push that Arbor Elf. Now the real problem with this is that we might not get another land next turn. I want to keep the Mishra's Baubles for prowess triggers on my Swiftspear. So that means we're missing out on 2 possible draws, which puts our likelihood of finding our second land for turn 2 to be quite low. Okay, there is the Sprawl, so they would have had 4 mana this turn. As is, they're playing Noble Hierarch and passing. So they will still have ridiculous amounts of mana next turn. Land off the top, please. Thank you very much. So we have access to Fatal Push now. But I don't think I want to Fatal Push the Hierarch at this point. They already have access to a ton of mana. So instead I'm going to use that mana to cast a Bomat Courier. Opponent is probably playing the Heliod combo deck. So they need access to 6 mana to combo out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think they can combo out this turn coming up. Okay, we're going to take a peek at their top card. They're drawing Conclave Mentor. Good card for their combo. And we get a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is quite good for us. Be able to take a Heliod out of their hand, for example. Collected Company. Okay. They could just win off of that. Did they whiff? Chat. Opponent just spent 4 mana on their main phase to do absolutely nothing except for tap their stuff. How good is that? That's some peak magic right there. That's why I don't like the card Collected Company, chat. We're going to Mishra's Bauble. If we Mishra's Bauble, the opponent is going to be able to win Swept Heath. to take whatever card we see off of the top of the library. So we wouldn't get any value from it that way. And that would, keeping it around also gives us the option of Fatal Push. Oh, I like the Seal of Fire, though. Okay, let's start with Thoughtseize. Okay, we get the Conclave Mentor. They have land left in hand. So I think we just play the Seal of Fire. And I don't think we even bother killing the Hierarch here. I think we hold the Seal of Fire for something else. They already have access to 4 mana, which is enough for them to do whatever badness they have access to. Besides the combo, but they don't have the cards in hand for that yet. So take 4, opponent. I believe so, Handsome. I'm pretty sure this is Heliod's combo. We've seen the Conclave Mentor, Collected Company. This looks exactly like Heliod combo. We could Mishra's Bauble here to find out what they're drawing. Ranger Captain of Eos is on top, so that's a very good card for them. That might have actually been a reason to kill the Hierarch. Okay, that's good to know. Usually decks either play Bird Noble or Utopia Arbor, but this deck is playing the extra Dork. So something I was thinking here, if we had used the Seal of Fire a little bit earlier, during our turn, or during the opponent's upkeep when we heard about the Ranger of Eos, we could have killed the Hierarch and kept them off of playing the Walking Ballista. Oh, okay, well there you go. 1 Noble. So they have the 1/1 Walking Ballista, which can kill our Bomat Courier, unfortunately. Let's see if they just go ahead and do it. Okay. They did it. Lightning Bolt. We can push and seal. We can. We also drew Lightning Bolt here. So if we play Swiftspear and Bolt, I don't think we get any real value out of that. I think we just seal push. Yeah, clear the board. That's what I'm thinking too. And then hopefully the Lightning Bolt will finish them off next turn. But they still could draw a Collected Company, and the deck could just give them the combo right off the top of the deck. So fingers crossed. Okay, they spent a land there, so it cannot be Collected Company. They have another Ranger Captain. Okay, so we have a Lightning Bolt, kill Ranger Captain. Deal 4, put them to 2. If we just attack and let them block... Oh, okay, now they're just dead. Easy peasy. You got it, Handsome. Okay, so we want Rain of Gore, for sure. Do we bring in Abrade as extra removal? We definitely want Kozilek's Return, so we can get rid of any pro-red things that they bring in. Terminate. Let's bring that into Kolaghan's command. Now we're going to have to start taking out some cards. We're going to be focusing pretty heavily. You think the Blood Moon gets them? I'm not so sure about that. They have a lot of dorks. And they have a lot of basics. Scourge out? Oh yeah. Thank you. Going to be pretty hard to get the Scourge running, although the Rain of Gore can end the game pretty quick. Bit of a shame taking Scourge out. We need one more card to go. I would like to keep the Temur Battle Rages. Maybe a Thoughtseize, you think? I would take out an Inquisition before I took out a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize hits Collected Company. Seal of Fire. Seal of Fire is pretty close. Seal of Fire and Inquisition are really close to each other. I think I would rather have Inquisition rather than Seal of Fire. Because Inquisition gets rid of Heliod. Alright, let's submit and see if we restart. Nope, we're right in. No glitch this time. Why Terminate? Another removal spell against some of their more difficult creatures. Just a for sure way to kill something. Not a fan of TBR? That's fair. I would have been fine with one copy in the deck. Actually, now that I'm thinking more about it, they probably have access to Path to Exile. So I think that taking TBR out is definitely the better idea. We'll keep this hand. Not great, but just barely keepable. Okay, they're starting with Utopia Sprawl, so they aren't opening themselves up to a removal spell. Yeah. Once you said not a fan of TBR, that's where my mind was going. Okay, so we get Inquisition. So we have the choice of playing the Inquisition first. The problem with that is we're not going to get the Prowess trigger for the Swiftspear, but the upside is just too high to ignore. If we Inquisition away a Heliod, that's a card that we have a really hard time dealing with once it hits the board. So we're going to start with the Hand Disruption spell, just deciding how I want to play my lands here. I'm going to start with the Arid Mesa because we already have the basic mountain, and Marsh Flats gets basic swamp. Okay, so they have the Collected Company, they have the Ranger Captain and the Walking Ballista, as well as Path. So I'm thinking I want to take the Ranger Captain here. We have an answer to Walking Ballista. It's not going to be coming down as any kind of a big threat. Ranger Captain of Eros is a bit of a problem earlier on. Walking Ballista will become a problem later, but we have Kolaghan's command to kill it, no matter how big it gets. Path to Exile would have been also another good card to take, but we have two threats. So they'll have to choose one, give us a basic land, and we get to keep the other one. What do we offer up to exile the gods? Good question. We need some kind of sacrifice. Okay, so they have the Path ready. And they're going to have a ton of mana through the Arbor Elf before we can take it off the board. So really looking to draw a Lightning Bolt here or Fatal Push. Okay, we get Mishra's Bauble instead. Okay. So they are going to be able to cast Collected Company this turn coming. I think we probably just Swiftspear, Bomat Courier, attack, let's go. And I'm going to play a basic here, because they're going to be presenting quite a bit of damage upcoming. Alright, let's take a peek at what's on top. They're about to draw another Arbor Elf. Do you want to trade your elf for my courier? They do not. I don't blame them. Alright, moving on. Another Mishra's Bauble. So still no removal spell. We do have access to Kolaghan's command now, but it's too late. They already have the mana. They're going to be able to collect a company here, and I'm sure we cannot be so lucky to get no hits twice. Okay, Heliod and Skyclave. So we're pretty toast. We need Rain of Gore now. Need Rain of Gore right away, because they have the Walking Ballista, they're just going to win. I guess we could hold up Kolaghan's command and try and get him. Yep, we'll see if we can get him. But it's looking pretty poor here. Okay, they have another collected company on top. Opponent's deck really wants them to win. Yeah, they just take the damage here. So they have 4, 5... they need one more card, one more land, in order to get the combo off here. So they're probably just going to cast Collect a Company instead. Okay, and they get the Spike Feeder. So that's combo with the Heliod here. We're dead. I mean, we can Kolaghan's command the Spike Feeder. No, they have 2 Spike Feeders. So yeah, we're dead. We're not going to spend any time trying to clock them out or any of that business. Alright, so we wanted to take out the Temur Battle Rage. So what do we bring in now? The Abrade? Do we bring the Seal of Fire back? Handsome really wants the Blood Moons. I think they played too many basics for that. We'll bring in one Abrade just to give us an extra removal spell. But yeah, I like the Seal to get rid of one of their Arbor Elves. Okay, we're going to submit like this. No glitch, straight into the game. That's what we like to see. We'll take the play, show him in the cat. We got a lot of removal here. We got a Thoughtseize. I don't mind it. We'll start with Bomat Courier. And then we'll go from there. Courier can be quite good at that. I've drawn quite a few cards off the Courier. Alright, let's start with a Fetch Shock. I was thinking the same thing. Courier first this time. We'll play excuse me. We'll play Thoughtseize next turn. Oh, and they have nothing. Great. So the card we're... Oh, another land. The card we're really looking to hit is Heliod or Collected Company with the Thoughtseize. So giving them some extra turns to draw it doesn't seem too bad. We might not even want to play the Thoughtseize here. All right, thanks for the follow, Alozak. What I'm thinking right now is we might not want to play the Thoughtseize yet, because the opponent is not going to play the cards that we care about this turn coming. So we're just going to play Arid Mesa, attack with Courier, and we'll Thoughtseize next turn. Opponent's turn 3 is where they can play the cards we're scared of, so we're going to give them as much time as possible to draw those cards. If they play anything else, we can remove it with our removal spells. Auriok would buy them quite a bit of time. I wasn't thinking about Auriok. We do have an answer to it. Fortunately, it's not coming down this turn. Okay, Utopia Sprawl. So they'll have access to Collected Company next turn. Yeah, we got Cause Return as a possible answer. Alright, let's go ahead and lower our life totals. We still have our shadows. So we're going to go Fetch Shock. And we get Terminate. So we're getting a lot of answers here, but not so much in the threat department. Do we play Silent Clearing or Marsh Flats here? Silent Clearing or Marsh Flats? Alright, we Thoughtseize first or second? I don't think that matters. Thoughtseize before they can Path. Okay, they get Veil of Summer. That's a beating. Okay, and I don't think we do anything else here. I think we just pass. We don't have mana for the cat. We used it on the Thoughtseize. Yeah, Veil of Summer. Real good magic card, that one. Real good. I would say that between the two decks as well, we played the Devoted Devastation earlier today. I would say that this deck is definitely the superior one. If you want to play a creature combo deck in green and white, play Heliod combo. Okay, Skyclave, that's going to take the Bomat Courier away. So we have to decide on how we want to do this. If we want to trade in our hand, and we probably do, we're going to want to cast a removal spell onto the Skyclave Apparition with its trigger on the stack, and then use the Bomat Courier. So we either use Dismember to lower our life total so we can get to Shadow, or we use Fatal Push. I think we use the Dismember here and hope that we draw Shadow. Our HB means very little. Well, the thing is, the opponent's creatures have power on them. I'm not saying that to be facetious. I mean that the Devoted Druid decks have a hard time attacking. Our opponent's deck can attack for 2. Okay, so Skyclave Apparition does have dual triggers. So we're not actually going to get an illusion. Okay, so we get another removal spell and another Thoughtseize. This is during the opponent's turn, so we will be able to Thoughtseize, get past that Veil of Summer. And we have the Fatal Push for their Arbor Elf, so they cannot make 1,000,000 manas. And we get Night's Whisper to draw some cards. Okay. If we Night's Whisper, however, we have to bring in the Blood Crypt untapped, so that puts us to 3. Let's start with a Thoughtseize, see what their holdings are. Might also be nice to get Lurrus. Okay, so they have 2 amazing cards in hand. Just the best cards possible for the opponent. Do we take the Champ or do we take the God? We have an answer for Champ in the deck. It exists. We have the Kozilek's Return. Heliod comes down, and we have no answer to it. However, it's not doing very much. The Auriok Champion comes down. It's going to do a lot of work over a very short amount of time. I honestly have no idea. What does the chat think? Handsome thinks discard Champion. So it looks like we want to take the Champ. Fillable MTG thinks the Champ as well. Yep. Both of these cards are very difficult to beat, but I think that you guys might be right. We're going to take the Champion here. We don't really have a way to beat that card later. So we are not going to be able to Night's Whisper here. We're just going to play the Blood Crypt tapped. Hold up Fatal Push. We'll probably just kill the Arbor Elf right now, so they don't have access to all that mana. It's just too much mana, chat. We do have access now. Next turn we can Night's Whisper, go to 3. Okay, we get Bomat Courier. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could load up Lurrus. Yep. I don't mind that. Okay, they have the Ranger Captain. That's going to go get them the Walking Ballista. So we're almost dead. One, two, three, four, 5. They don't have enough mana to go ahead and do it yet, though. Unfortunately, we don't have any Seal of Fire in the graveyard, so we're not going to be able to Lurrus and protect ourselves. If we use the Night's Whisper, we're pretty much dead to Ranger Captain. I guess I could Night's Whisper, draw Rain of Gore, and then they wouldn't be able to combo, but they would just kill me with the Walking Ballista. What if I play the Lurrus and try and survive one turn? Play Lurrus, play Bauble, play Bomat Courier as an additional blocker. If they don't draw land, we don't die. But if they do draw land, then we're dead. And then we can play the Mishra's Bauble to draw some extra cards, try and find Fatal Push. Let's see what the opponent is about to draw here. Opponent draws Utopia Sprawl. Okay, so that is not a land. We can either play Bomat Courier here as an extra blocker, or we could play Mishra's Bauble to get an extra draw at a removal spell. Okay, we're going to draw another Bauble here. And we're just going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to find out what we're drawing off the top anyways. We don't need to take a peek. No attacks. Miss and miss. Okay, so they're attacking with a Ranger Captain then? No, they're just passing the turn? Did they draw Collected Company then? Huh, okay. And we get Seal of Fire. Okay. Okay, so we'll play Seal of Fire here. And we'll play Mishra's Bauble. Draw an extra card. Another Walking Ballista coming up. So dueling Walking Ballistas, that's going to drain our life total quite a bit. If we Thoughtseize, we take away their Walking Ballista, but then they could, like, collect a company in response. Hit with a lifelinker, huh? So you think it's worth it to trade the lifelinker with the Ranger Captain? Then we have some life to play with. I think that you think that it might be the necessary thing to do. We've already gotten the value from the Mishra's Bauble here, and we can block with the Bomat Courier. All right, let's see if your gambit pays off here. They could absolutely block, give the Ranger Captain a lifelink, give themselves some life to work with, but I don't think that's very good. They could sack, yep. Yep, they could block sack, we gain no life. That would take Ranger Captain off the board. Seal of Fire is interesting here. We can Seal of Fire a 2/2 Walking Ballista. But they do see it on the board here, so they could just make a 3/3 Walking Ballista and wait a turn. That phase came up so quick after that break there that I almost just hit the shortcut key by mistake. All right, handsome. Check that out. The attack worked. So do we Thoughtseize at this point, now that we've got some more life to work with? We could Thoughtseize, and if they have Collected Company, that'll take the Walking Ballista off the top of the deck. Okay, so they're drawing a card. So yeah, they just have 2 Walking Ballistas. But they did lose a land in that, so that's pretty good for us. We take 1 Ballista. And we draw Abrade. Okay, we got action. Still very, very close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they do have enough mana to combo. They could do quite a bit of work with a 3/3 Walking Ballista. Can we win? Yeah, they cannot combo through the seal. I think that what I would do in their situation is I would play a 3/3 Walking Ballista. Okay, we're going to block here. Now we can kill the Ranger Captain with Seal of Fire. Okay, they're giving the Ranger Captain lifelink, which means that it'll become too big. So we can Abrade it in response. And they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So they could make a 2/2 Walking Ballista, which is not good enough. Okay, Handsome. What's up, Handsome? Why don't you like the Abrade on the Captain here? Yep, Heliod is on the stack. We don't want to let them gain life, so I really want to Abrade that Captain. I'm also worried about the life they'll gain. We want to be dealing them damage and getting this game over with. With the Captain off the board, we can use Seal of Fire, hit them, and then bring the Seal of Fire back as well to get some extra damage. So we're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, put them to 1. And we get a Death Shadow off the top. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but the Heliod meant that we would not be able to trade unless we traded it for 2 seals, which would have been fine as well. Say the seal. Oh, the seal would have still killed it. You're right. If we had done the damage, they would have gained the life, but there would have been 3 damage on it before the Heliod trigger came up. Yeah, good point. That was the other thing I was thinking about. I didn't want them to gain any more life. We can Night's Whisper here. We're not in any danger of dying unless they combo. So we could Night's Whisper and try and find a Fatal Push or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could make a 3/3. This puts us to 6. So we could try and find Lightning Bolt. Okay, we find Fatal Push. Oh, that's fair too. Yep. Did not need to play the Shadow here. We could have kept that mana. And then we would have been able to cast the Kozilek's Return. So this Collected Company could just end us here. Okay, they get Spike Feeder. So we can respond to the Spike Feeder. Okay, Walking Ballista. So, how do we do this? I think we let the Walking Ballista resolve, and then we act on triggers. As soon as anything happens, that's when we respond. So yeah, we wait. And then we attack. If they do nothing, we're fine. We have Kozilek's Return as well, which kills their entire board and forces them to move. Okay, we have just under 3 minutes here. We have to figure this out. Do we just attack? If we Swiftspear, yeah, we should have lethal here. Yep. We could have Kozilek's returned in order to initiate the business. Okay, Walking Ballista is off the board, dealing 1 damage to the Courier. They can't combo now. Yeah, they have the 1 damage on the feeder, so the feeder just dies. Oh yeah, push it. Push it would have been better. Then I could have brought the seal back, done more damage that way. So I did miss out on a little bit of damage here. Another Collected Company off the top. Noble Hierarch and Noble Hierarch and nothing. Oh, you hear that? Okay. We have a 2-land hand. We have Night's Whisper. We're going to lose a lot of life pretty quick. This is a pretty close one, actually. The Night's Whisper is going to get us towards Death Shadow very quickly. We have a removal spells. I'm going to try this one. Definitely not my best hand ever, but I think that it's good enough just barely to keep it. Start with Seal of Fire. Thanks, Handsome. Had a lot of help from chat there. And I find after a game like that, it's a little bit difficult to get reset for the next game. Palette cleanse. Then again, I used to go out for palette cleansing in between the final rounds of tournaments before top 8s happened. And I would cleanse my palette a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. And wouldn't really be 100% for my games. I'm talking about beers, bud. Go for some fish and chips, have some beers. A little bit of celebrating for making top 8. So I want a Night's Whisper here. That's going to allow us to play the Death Shadow next turn. And Polluted Delta means we don't need to worry about Lightning Bolt. Opponent is not going to be playing Burn with a Polluted Delta. Okay, we can Mishra's Bauble here. Why not? But we are going to wait for the opponent's upkeep before we use it. Polluted Delta can absolutely mean hand disruption. Okay, so they do crack. Ah, yes. Prowess trigger. Good call, Handsome. We could absolutely wait on the Mishra's Bauble for a Prowess trigger. We also have Bloodstained Mire in hand. So we could have held the Mishra's Bauble to do a Scry trick. Okay, Overgrown Tomb, Steam Vents, Growth Spiral, and Ren and 6. What does this tell us, chat? This is one of those Uro Omnath piles. Would be what I'm thinking. Niv? Yep, Niv makes a ton of sense. They're playing black. So that's going to give them access to Niv in their Uro Omnath whatever. So do we double of Seal of Fire the Ren and 6? Okay, we get a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize can really let us know if we want to Seal of Fire the Ren and 6. Okay, so they have Bring to Light, Fatal Push for our Shadow, but we have the Agadeem to bring it back, as well as Lurrus. I think that we take the Bring to Light and kill the Ren and 6. So the last question is, do we put the Death Shadow down into the face of Fatal Push? I don't think we do. I mean, it is going to die one way or another. But we can wait a moment and get a little bit of value out of Lurrus. Now that I'm thinking about it, we could have played the Shadow, it dies to Fatal Push, and then we get it back with Lurrus next turn. So yeah, I think that playing the Shadow there was actually the right thing to do. This does give us access to Dismember, but we're not going to need it this turn. So we definitely should have played Shadow last turn. They're even going to have Fatal Push up, although the Remand isn't going to do very much good here. Okay, we get basic Swamp. So we can hold on to the Agadeem's Awakening, which is nice. We'll go ahead and play Death Shadow and put Cat into our hand. We'll play the Shadow first, just in case they want to Remand. And we're going to go get Mountain here. Our life total is starting to get quite precarious. And we have Dismembers as well. Okay, Growth Spiral. And they play the Polluted Delta. So Niv is a 5/5, right? We can kill it with a Dismember. I know we can kill Omnath. And we cannot kill Uro with Dismember. Okay, it looks like they're going to wait for our combat step to kill the Shadow. And they do not have fetch land, so they're going to have a little bit of a hard time killing the Lurrus. They'll probably counter it. Okay, there's the Fatal Push. So I think we play Lurrus here. They remand it. And then they play Growth Spiral. We could also Agadeem's Awakening, but there's no value in playing that right now. We can wait a turn. There's the Remand. Okay, we'll just play Mishra's Bauble. And we'll take a peek at what they're about to draw here. We'll do it on their upkeep. I don't know that the opponent would be playing Thoughtseize. I don't think they would. But it doesn't hurt to play around it. And we already have removal here. I don't think we're looking for anything this turn. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary. Putting back Bring to Light. Okay, no answer that time. Let's play Death Shadow. Play the Mishra's Bauble, and we'll pass back. They have the Bring to Light. Don't know what they're going to get with it. If it's Niv, I think we have the answer in Dismember. Okay, there's a Valakut. So they're actually a Scapeshift deck. And they're going to kill us right now with Bring to Light Scapeshift. We have no answer to that. And we forgot to do the Bauble during their upkeep anyway. Oh, maybe this isn't... Okay, yeah. 4 colors. Leave black open. Here's Scapeshift. We're dead. Let's just make sure they have the mountains. They don't even need very many. Our life total is only 7. Once the Valakut triggers go on the stack, we will concede. We should actually Mishra's Bauble them in response once the triggers go on the stack. To get a little bit more information about what's in their deck before we concede. Okay, so there's all the mountains. Triggers go on the stack. Unfortunately, to get the information, we do have to let them put the triggers on the stack. But it looks like they're quite practiced at Scapeshift here. They put those triggers on the stack right quick. Okay, we see Polluted Delta on top. Now we concede. Okay, so Blood Moon. We bring in the Spellbomb and Lantern. We could bring in Kolaghan's Command. We are grinding. Only a little bit. They use the graveyard with their Mystic whatever Sanctuary. Drinking coffee and water. I mean, coffee is brown water, right? Okay, so we definitely want the Inquisitions and the Thoughtseizes. I don't think we really want the Fatal Pushes. They seem to be a spell-based deck. But I'll feel pretty silly if they end up bringing in that Dryad thing. It's a lot of water. Like a lot. Alright, do we want to bring in anything else? Uro, Ren, Mystic, enough reasons for me to play Graveyard Hate? Yep. Medication you're on dehydrates you. Well, you got to keep hydrated. Sounds like you need to drink a lot of water. There is a question of if we want to bring in Rain of Gore. We did not see Uro, but I imagine the deck is playing Uro. But we already have answers for Uro in the removal there. Maybe we just want to play it like this. I wouldn't mind taking out the Temur Battle Rage. They might have Omnath. Alright, we're going to risk it just in case they have Uro and Omnath. But this is a hedge. It could go wrong. It could be a dead card. Okay, yes. No glitch this time. Interesting hand. I guess we keep. I mean, it's not great, but it's what we sided into. Right? How do we not keep this? Just got to hope that we draw a land in the next couple turns. If Blood Moon resolves, we might actually win. Yeah, Handsome would love this hand. We're going to immediately play Rain of Gore. Just missing Boil. I did very much enjoy playing Boil. Oh, we got a Scourge. Unfortunately, our own life total is at 20. Alright, let's play Rain. Get the Prowess trigger. We'll bolt ourselves later. Yes, we will. We got the Swamp, so we can play the Scourge through the Blood Moon. So we don't need to worry so much about... okay, they got the Fatal Push. So we're going to end the turn here. Their life total's already low. Rain of Gore says it's not going to be getting any higher. Really looking for land off the top. Any land off the top deck. Yeah, I was a fan of the card for a while. Oh no, not a land. Alright, we're just going to have to pass here, hold up Lightning Bolt to Lightning Bolt ourselves. Pretty bad. But that was something that we signed up for when we kept this hand. We didn't have any baubles. No ways to draw cards. I know, man. But that Moto Shuffler, you know? It's not being very kind to me. So they have 2 mana up here. They could have Remand. Really needed that land last turn. We'll bolt ourselves so we can play Scourge. Come on, opponent. You don't counter this spell. You counter the Scourge. Now we get land. Okay. I think we still play Blood Moon here, right? Yeah. If they have Remand, oh well. If they have any kind of counterspell, oh well. But we brought it to slam. Okay, opponent does have the Remand. They know what we're about now. They have a turn to get basic, hold up counterspell, whatever. They have 7 cards in hand. Oh, Mystic Sanctuary lets them put Remand back on top, so they could even draw into it. Okay, they get the Uro, so that's going to lose them life. And they have the Scalding Tarn. Oh, we got the Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, so that gets rid of Uro. And then we probably just play Scourge so that we can 2-spell. Because they have the Remand, right? They drew it with the Uro. Okay, get rid of Uro. And then we'll just play the Scourge into Remand. Yep. Oh, okay. They let Scourge resolve. They have some sort of other answer for it. Fatal Push. Makes sense. Keep the Remand for the Blood Moon. Okay, opponent still has 5 cards in hand. They have access to all their colors, but they are under pressure in the sense that they know we have Blood Moon. Okay, so Valakut means we're quite close to dying here. We get Death Shadow. We have too many lives to play Death Shadow, so we cannot 2-spell. I think we just play the Blood Moon, get the Remand out of their hand, and hope that we survive a turn. And we have Soul Guide Lantern to keep them from putting Remand back on top. So let's turn off auto yields. Don't see double green yet. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't see an Uro in their graveyard either, so no problem. Okay, here's that Scalding Tarn. So if they put a Sanctuary into play, we go ahead and use the Lantern. Don't want them holding on to that. Okay, they're going to cycle the Triome. So that draws them a card. They have 5 cards in hand. We're tapped out. They've got all this mana. If they have the cards they need, I think they can win here. But I mean, that is an if. We don't know what they have in hand. Okay, Overgrown Tomb. They definitely have enough lands. Sunbaked Canyon. Okay. So again, we do not have enough life to play the Death Shadow. So we'll just play Blood Moon. This is what, the 3rd time we've cast this Blood Moon? Yep, Cryptic Command. And they're returning the Sanctuary to their hand. So they're going to be able to do this ad nauseum. Okay, Growth Spiral. Puts the Mystic Sanctuary into play and takes the Cryptic Command ready to go. So Cryptic Command is ready this turn. So we're not going to be able to play our secondary Blood Moon yet. Ad nauseum means that you reveal cards from the top of your library, blah, blah, blah. It means that you go through something to the point of being sick. Ooh, you mean the actual Latin translation? Enlighten us, handsome. Okay, another Scourge of the Skyclaves. What do you say we just play 2 Scourges back to back, huh? Yeah, they're the same thing as I understand it. ad infinitums just to do a thing forever, basically, right? Just keep going, keep doing it, like counting 3 million grains of sand on a beach. Thank you, preacher. Very nice. Thank you for the definition there. Okay, bring to light. So we're dead. This goes and gets Scapeshift. Scapeshift kills us. Hard fought game, but we weren't able to do it. We're going to go ahead and let them put the mountains into play, but this game is done. We've already seen that they do play quite a few mountains in between the Triome and the Steam Vents, so they should have no problem presenting enough mountains to kill us here. We're only at 13 life. Yeah, that one missed land drop. If we could have played the Blood Moon under their counter magic, we would have won. But again, you know, that's part of Magic. If we wanted to play a game that was pure skill, we would be playing chess, or we would be playing Go. Okay, so they have the triggers up. We're going to concede. This hand is great. I love this hand. I'm going to keep it. Our opponent is playing Lurrus, so they could have any number of things. But I want to play the Swiftspear first, so that I can Swiftspear Thoughtseize next turn and get in maximum damage. So the question is, do we fetch this turn? I think we might want to play Sunbaked Canyon first, just to get maximum damage out of it. Sunbaked Canyon will do a lot of damage over the course of a game. So if we're able to play it turn 1, it's going to do more damage than Fetch Shock would most of the time. Okay, Blood Crypt, no surprise there. And looks like they're holding up Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push. Okay, Bomat Courier. Interesting. So we could just play all of our critters out here and attack, but I really want to play that Thoughtseize and get a potential Scourge out of their hand. So I'm going to play the Blood Crypt. Play the Swiftspear. We've already gotten 2 out of the Sunbaked Canyon here. Thoughtseize the opponent. See if we can hit a Scourge. And they'll probably Fatal Push one of our Swiftspears here. Yep, that's good for us. Fatal Push not going at a Shadow or a Scourge. That's good. Oh, okay, they're playing Apostle's Blessing. So they're on an older style of list. We could take their Swiftspear. I think we probably take one of the creatures here. Leave them with a Thoughtseize. We don't have very much that's of value in our hand right now. Think that this is going to be a very fast match. Fast in the sense that we aren't going to have very many turns, but each individual turn could take quite some time. Okay, I expect them to take the Lightning Bolt here, but they might take Courier. Okay, yeah, they do take the lightning bolt. So they'll probably play Courier attack. Okay, no, they're holding up Dismember here. And we get another Swiftspear. Okay, so we're going to play out our hand. Sunbaked Canyon is hit 3. Play the Bomat Courier. Now, something I'm considering here is like going and get Swamp with the Marsh Flats, but I don't think that's necessary. Opponent isn't pressuring us yet. Let's just turn on the pressure here. Anytime they want to kill Bomat Courier, I'm cool with drawing a card off it. Alright, Cutie's got to go. Seen a lot of interesting matches today. Thank you. Thank you for the commentary. Maybe I'll stop by next Monday because that's your day off. Schedule doesn't allow me to watch your streams other days because of work. Good luck for the rest and see you next time. See you next time, doll. Thank you very much for stopping by. And starting next week, my streams are going to be a little bit more sporadic. They'll be starting later in the day, basically whenever I get home from work. It's going to be Christmas time, so there's going to be a lot of work to do at the post office. Hope you have a great time, doll. See you around. Okay, opponent's at 7 life here. If we can find a lightning bolt off the top, we're doing pretty good, but the opponent has Death Shadow, so now we need to find a fatal push. Thank you for the follow, Punchliners. What's up? How did you find us? Okay, so we have Sunbaked Canyon here to crack, looking for fatal push. We also do have chumps available. We could go get Lurrus. Alright, so our choices are put Lurrus into hand and do nothing, and start chumping. We could chump every turn. Or we can draw a card. I'm going to put Lurrus in my hand here. Oh, opponent has Apostle's Blessing. So we can't necessarily block every turn. We're going to have to be careful about that. Apostle's Blessing is going to get the Death Shadow up to a 8/8. 8/8 unblockable currently. But once we get the Bomat Courier out, we'll be able to have enough colors that we'll be able to block with a Swiftspear or a Bomat Courier. I mean, or the Lurrus if we need to. Going to want to use the Marsh Flats to get a tapped Blood Crypt. Keep our life total up. The Death Shadow is going to be doing all that work for us. Alright, if they have a Temur Battle Rage, there's nothing we can do. We're dead. But we're just going to start chumping. And if we can chump enough times, we can draw towards Fatal Push. Okay, so we want to use this Marsh Flats, get that mana. Seal of Fire. Okay. So if we play Seal of Fire, we cannot replay it with Lurrus. We only get 1 hit. Monastery Swiftspear plus Seal of Fire does 4 damage. It's not enough to kill. So we're going to have to wait on that play. We're just going to play the Lurrus, play the Bomat Courier, and pass. Playing the Bomat Courier, so we have 3 different colors, including colorless, among our permanents, so that we can block the Death Shadow. We might want to go ahead and attack here for 1, but I really want to keep the Lurrus around, So we need to keep the Swiftspear and Bomat Courier. So we have multiple ways to block. Okay, they got rid of Lurrus. So that's a problem. Okay, so we're going to block with probably Swiftspear here, although Swiftspear is quite good if we get Lightning Bolt off the top. We're going to block with Bomat Courier. Bomat Courier is pretty good because it will draw a card when it attacks. Okay, they have a blocker in Courier now. And we get the Inquisition of Kozilek. So we can get rid of the Apostle's Blessing here, and then crack the Sunbaked Canyon and try and find that Fatal Push. Okay, if they're going to use the Apostle's Blessing, target creature gains color from a choice. That means they cannot use it next turn and will be able to block. So we're going to let that happen. And we get Mutagenic Growth for our trouble. Very nice. Alright, so we don't have a lot of plays left here. We're just going to play Seal of Fire. And then we'll draw a card. End of turn. Actually, yeah, so if we attack here, they just block with Bomat Courier. So if we kill Bomat Courier, we put him to 2, and they kill us on the crackback. We have to block. Okay, we've already gotten to turn 6 here. Long game of Modern. They might as well attack with Bomat Courier, right? Nah. Hold it back. Be safe. Okay. Again, we must block. They have a fetch land here, so they could kill us. And we're going to use our land to draw a card. Try and find that Fatal Push. We found it. Okay, we're back in it. And we get a Dismember, so we can kill all their things. Okay, we can hold the Dismember and wait on the Seal of Fire. I want to dismember the Bomat Courier before it can draw the opponent a card. And if we can find a Lightning Bolt, we can win with our Seal of Fire. So I want to hold it on the board if we can. I'm fine with throwing away the Dismember here. To keep them from drawing a card. They'll probably put Lurrus in their hand here. Okay, Mishra's Bauble. They crack that right away. No fear. And they're targeting themselves. And that's a card they want to keep. Alright, what do we got on the top? We found Seal of Fire. Okay. And that Seal of Fire is basically lethal now? Because they used a fetch land? Could they get through this? They could have Cling to Dust. If they have Cling to Dust, they're still in it. Do we know what's in their hand? I don't think we do. I don't think we have knowledge of what's in their hand. But I'm getting pretty excited here. I think we have this game. Oh, they're fetching again. What could that last card in hand be? Is it Kolaghan's Command? It must be Kolaghan's Command. Kind of surprising to see that in the main, but there it is. Pretty sure that's the only thing this mana could mean. Yep. Turn a creature card from the graveyard and I discard my seal. Good job, opponent. Okay, we might as well just leave the Seal of Fire there. There's nothing we can do with our graveyard. Our cat is gone, so we just pass the turn here. Really close back and forth game here. That Kolaghan's command from the opponent was very well timed. And they have a Scourge here as well. Okay, so we need Lightning Bolt off the top. And we get Bloodstained Mire. Okay, we're dead. Very close game. Okay, so we're playing the mirror match. Let's see here. Kolaghan's command. Kozilek's return can be good against the Swiftspear and the Bomat Courier. Terminate for sure. Spellbomb for sure. Blood Moon is actually a consideration. Take out the Battle Rage. Battle Rage is weak to Fatal Push. Not sure about Dismember. I mean, it can hit a few things, but Dismember is really risky against Death Shadow and Scourge of the Skyclaves. The Bomat Couriers probably aren't too good. There's just a ton of removal, and they just get picked off too easily. So we could bring in a Soulguide Lantern for that. We could take out one of the Seal of Fire. No, I don't mind the Seal of Fire here. It gets the Swiftspears, it gets the Couriers. Okay. We're going to try it like this. Yes, they do. Okay, so they're not playing Blood Moon in the main. This hand is fine. I definitely like the Knight's Whisper here. We're going to start with either Bomat Courier or Swiftspear. Let's start with Courier here, get some cards underneath it. And then we'll save the Bauble for the Swiftspear next turn. We can go Swiftspear, Bauble, Seal of Fire, and then reload with Knight's Whisper. Okay, probably a Thoughtseize. Yes, indeed. I wonder, they probably take the Knight's Whisper here. But Monastery Swiftspear would also be a good take. Okay, they do take the Whisper. We're going to hit them for a ton of damage here and hope they don't have Death Shadow ready to go. So we're going to hit him for 5 here. And then we're going to use the Bauble on their upkeep. Find out what they're about to draw, and we won't expose ourselves to any discard spells. Okay, so they're drawing Swamp. They played the Swamp that we've seen. What is this going to be? They should probably get rid of that Bomat Courier, and they do. And this is probably a Death Shadow. No, it's a Fatal Push. Okay. Could have been worse. Let's go ahead and Mishra's Bauble them. They have a Mishra's Bauble on top. We'll go to our turn, draw some cards. Oh, a Scourge? That's not bad. Don't mind that at all. Another Bauble, and we get a land. Okay. So I think we just do all the things. Play the Crypt. We'll hold up... I mean, we don't need to hold up anything, right? Because we're playing out our hand. And we're going to use the Bauble during the opponent's upkeep. So the question is, do we want to use the Sunbaked Canyon in order to lose an extra point of life? Make the Scourge that little bit larger. Okay, move to their upkeep, activate Bauble. Oh, right, we already knew it was Mishra's Bauble on top from last turn. So we could have waited until the end step, actually, to do this Bauble. That would have been slightly better. I think that it's right for the opponent to Bauble us now. Either that or Bauble themselves and use the Wooded Foothills to try and find Fatal Push if they don't already have it. They only have 2 cards in hand. So yeah, it looks like they're looking for push. Okay, Death Shadow. Not as large as a Scourge. Bomat Courier. Okay. No attacks. Makes sense. Courier here can block Scourge, but we have the seal to take it out of the way. And we get Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt. We just have all the things. Okay. Get rid of Bomat Courier. Step number 1. Get rid of Death Shadow. Step number 2. It looks like opponent has the answer for our Scourge. Okay. So we don't have enough mana to get our Lurrus. We're just going to have to pass. We're going to keep our Sunbaked Canyon on the battlefield. They probably drew that Fatal Push off the Bomat Courier trigger. Okay, we're going to Lightning Bolt them. They're going to take a bunch of damage. They go to 3. And we're going to put Lurrus into our hand unless we draw something like a Lightning Bolt. Okay, Lurrus is now vulnerable to Thoughtseize. But they'd have to draw that off the top. I think it might have been better for them to hold that Thoughtseize for this Lurrus. I think they might be doing the same thing. Yep, they put Lurrus into their hand. Okay. Do we want to crack the Bloodstained Mire right now? I don't think we need to. We can get basics if we want to preserve our life total. And we got Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, that's great. Soul Guide Lantern is nice. What else could we do? We have Seal of Fire. We could put them to 1. I don't know. I like Lurrus, Mishra's Bauble, Soul Guide Lantern, and keep their graveyard in check. Gonna go get a basic here. I'm gonna get basic swamp. Play the lantern. And then if they put Lurrus on the stack, we'll use the lantern to clear their graveyard. Wait for their upkeep here, and then we'll use the Mishra's Bauble. We have no mana available, so we might as well wait. Okay, they get Apostle's Blessing. Good card for them. However, I think that if they use it, they die because of our Seal of Fire. Okay, here's Lurrus. Activate the lantern. Okay, they're at 3, so we're going to use Seal of Fire, kill their Lurrus, and attack. If they have anything, we have Lightning Bolt, so like whatever. Okay, pretty satisfied with how that went. I think that we mostly want to do the same thing again. The Soul Guide Lantern there was quite good, but that was because the Lurrus came out just when we drew it. I don't think that we want another one. Thoughtseize would have been just as good to take the Lurrus out of their hand, right? Kozilek's Return is a little bit risky. Not sure if I want to be running that, but I'm not sure that anything else would be actually better. Just thinking that like the possible 2-for-1 would be nice. Okay, so we only have 1 land in hand here, but we do have Mishra's Bauble, and we're on the draw, and we have Fatal Push. We have some of the best cards for the matchup. The thing is, if they have like Thoughtseize, they can take our Fatal Push, and if we miss land, then we're pretty hosed. I think I should mulligan this. Well, we have the Agadeem's Awakening, double Thoughtseize and double Mishra's Bauble. I think we can draw out of this. We'll get rid of one of the Thoughtseize and hold Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, double Bauble, Scourge. Bauble's drawing towards another land. Although, we are just straight dead to Thoughtseize. That's something I didn't think of, and I should have. If the opponent hits us with a Thoughtseize right now, they can take our Agadeem's Awakening, and we're left with only Mishra's Baubles. So we got very lucky there, in the sense that the opponent did not Thoughtseize us. Okay, we drew another Thoughtseize. Good thing we got rid of one. Let's play this. We're going to hold the Fatal Push for now. We'll use 1 Bauble, find out what is sitting on top of their library, so we have better information for our Thoughtseize. Okay, they have a land, Bloodstained Mire, sitting on top. Okay, so they have Cling to Dust, Death Shadow, Spellbomb, and Scourge. We probably take Scourge here. But we have to remember that they have Cling to Dust and could try and use that as a way to kill our Scourge as long as they're at 17 life. Alright, we're going to pass the turn and we'll use our Bauble at the end of their turn to find out what is on top of their deck. Okay, we get a Death Shadow there. That'll be quite nice if we draw a land. Okay, here's the Spellbomb. So that's going to be able to neuter our Lurrus. Let's wait till the end step and then use the Bauble. But this hit means that we can play Death Shadow. Looks like they're going to cling right now to get the extra damage. That's fine by us. Probably cling the Bauble. Yep. Okay, we'll take 3, go to 11. Now we have a 2/2 Death Shadow. Let's see what's on top of your library. You have a Bauble on top. Okay. Land, please. No luck. Okay. So we could Seal of Fire the Swiftspear and then hold up removal on whatever they play. Oh, no, we can't because we don't have red mana. So maybe we should Thoughtseize away their Death Shadow? I mean, we have removal for their Shadow. So maybe we just play Death Shadow pass? Can I just say I'm really glad the opponent didn't lead with Thoughtseize? This game would have just been over. Okay, there's the Bloodstained Mire. And the Mishra's Bauble. Monastery Swiftspear looking to grow our Death Shadow. And we will let it. They have the Bloodstained Mire, so they can bring a Death Shadow of their own onto the board, if they so choose. I expect an attack here, but they might not. Nope. Okay, so they trigger the Monastery Swiftspear. They're just going to hold it back. They could be holding something. Okay, so they're holding us on draw step here. What do they got? Probably another Kolaghan's Command. But I don't know why you would do it right now when I have such a full hand. It makes sense when I'm drawing one card, but I could discard anything here. Like, I'm just going to discard Kolaghan's Command because I'm never going to cast it. So yeah, they have a Kolaghan's Command and they're bringing back Scourge of the Skyclaves. So we're going to be able to hit that with Thoughtseize. Oh, they're doing 2 damage to my Death Shadow. Oh, that's way better than I thought. Okay. We don't have any way to save our Death Shadow, unfortunately. So we're just going to Thoughtseize them, get rid of the Scourge. Would have been too bad if we had drawn a land there. But that's what we get for keeping a 1-land hand. I mean, we did have 2 Mishra's Baubles. Okay, we take 1 here. Expecting to see a Death Shadow here. We have the Fatal Push and answer for it. And they'll probably put the Lurrus in their hand. Yep. And we miss on land again. Okay. I think we have to Fatal Push now. We've already seen that our opponent is playing the Blessing. So we don't want to let them bless the Death Shadow and just kill us that way. Okay, they have one card left, the Death Shadow. Oh, sorry, no, the Lurrus, rather. And they're going to be able to play a Death Shadow, so we're dead. We would have been fine if we had drawn lands, but we didn't, so we're not. And no land again. Okay, so that's the league.